I think Man's not going to reach double digits on at least one of those maps.
We did see a Vanguard upset us earlier on today. They beat Space Soldiers 2-0. So Man's Not Hot, I'm sure, will be looking to follow in their steps. But here on Overpass, it's not going to be easy for them. They've only played this map as a team in official matches twice. And both times they ended up losing. So here we go. Man's Not Hot looking to overcome and get that first win here on Overpass. And Man's Not Hot are just going to rush straight towards the B site. They're going to go for the Glock train. The boost comes in, but Nexa gets the double dink, but Rops wasn't checked. He's still only good for the one kill. Chris J, however, will chime in with a frag or two now. So he gives them the man advantage, and the bomb still hasn't gone down.
Yeah, Nexa though trying to bring this back, able to get himself another headshot, but he will be traded up by Chris J, who is looking pretty good into this pistol round. Sticko receives a dink, will only be through the corner of the wall, so it's not really going to be too much damage. And he just pushes forward and is going to be able to find that final kill. So MOUSESPORTS, even while losing that first man, they will be able to bring it back, and they somehow even stopped that bomb plant from coming in, and it was a complete retake setup. Other than Rops, of course.
Yeah, other than Rops just sitting behind the barrels, chilling on the site. Yeah, that was quite surprising, to be honest, that MOUSESPORTS managed to get those kills so quickly. Chris J chiming in with a 3K really made a big difference. Those two kills certainly helped massively, but Man's Not Hot, I thought would have just really wanted to get the bomb plants. They decided not to go for it, and so now they are just stuck with pistols into this second round. We are going to see Nukia take a lot of damage early on. The recent addition is finished off first. Oscar with that scout out towards A long, always going to be favored in the long-range fights there. Asilian is going to look for a pistol. He upgrades to the Desert Eagle, but MOUSESPORTS will just go passive with the man lead.
Yeah, no real need anymore for them to really continue taking these fights. They know there's a good chance for at least a few deagles to be brought in. Sticko, he's remaining at least moderately aggressive, but he's in a position where he has support, and once he spots players out, he should most likely be able to just hide or maybe take one kill and then hide afterwards, so not really too bad of a position. Right now, Nexa with the deagle, he will be the one that looks to try and find an opening, and there you go, he does spot one player, but as mentioned, Sticko, he gets back to safety, only really loses a small amount of HP in the process, and Man's Not Hot so far, with time running down, they haven't really had much success. It looks like they will try and go back towards B at least. But still, of course, MOUSESPORTS having a pretty decent setup, I guess, on this side of the map. Chris J along with Rops to try and hold this one down. It is maybe the correct decision by Man's Not Hot, though. Only two players here, of course, and Pensky with the CZ is going to be able to catch Rops off guard. Chris J from the back lines, though, looking to try and play that retake setup. Takes one and has the support of Sticko now. Will also be able to drop a kill. It comes back by Esperanto at least, but the bomb by Sticko, he pushes forward and is indeed going to be able to do so. Sunny, he closes it out, and MOUSESPORTS get themselves a second round onto the board.
Yeah, and they managed to ensure there is no bomb plant on the Man's Not Hot side. Exactly what MOUSESPORTS would have wanted. They did lose a couple of guns, however, that's kind of to be expected when you're up against some upgraded pistols. And now they are against just the one deagle for Esperanto. I'm surprised he even invested into this. That puts him down to $1,600. So he might struggle to get a full buy into the upcoming gun round. Nonetheless, Sticko only has a D holding this position as well, but Nukia will spot him out, actually gets the dink, so that's going to force him to fall back. Having said that, Sunny is behind him, gets a double kill quickly, although Oscar with only the scout might struggle to hold this push, but the D comes out, 2 quick kills, and the Cillian might be able to get onto the site. He actually could plant if he planted for bank, but I don't think he'll know that.
Yeah, I don't really think he's going to be aware of that. Probably looking to try and take a couple of fights in this one. The bomb plant, extremely unlikely in most situations when you're in this 1-on-4, especially with so much presence towards A. So he's just going to try and take the kill, try and get some more damage. And as you can see, that's not really going to work out. But the buy now will be available for Man's Not Hot. We see Esperanto, thanks to the 2400, will still have enough to buy. So I guess that's why he invested. But he's limited in terms of the utility. He just gets himself a flash. And they're already, overall, throughout the entire team, not really going to be working with a real abundance of utility. It's definitely a bit scarce. Not exactly like they would like, because coming into this one, MOUSESPORTS, a bit of a positive for Man's Not Hot. They have decided to keep themselves a couple of weaker weapons into this. Oscar doesn't upgrade, he sticks on the Scout. An MP9 also for Rops, but an aggressive push by MOUSESPORTS to try and counteract this disadvantage that they have. And early on, some damage will be put in their favour. A nice nades found onto a Cillian, as he's brought down to 60. And Sticko now, he's in a really good position. He's going to be able to find one kill and even drops the bomb for himself. And another perfectly placed Molotov will allow for Nexa to take some damage at least as he pushes forward. But there we go, Nexa steps it up. finds the double kill, and now Sunny looking to try and return it. Needs to get something done. He finds one, and that may be enough now as he backs off towards the connector, and a 3-on-3 now will be in play for both sides.
Tensky holding patiently, spots out Rops. He was trying to push through with just the MP9, however, at that long range, not much the SMG can do. So now MOUSESPORTS just have to rely on Sunny and Chris J. For the time being, though, Chris J has pushed out aggressively towards A long, so Sunny should be aware it's fairly likely to be a B-site push, and he is taking this off angle. He's taking a bit of a risk here, but this might work out. They won't expect him to be in this position, and Sunny only gets the 1 kill. That first frag was 4-3, so it allowed him to have the chance for a double. However, only the 1 kill means Chris J has to clutch, and he doesn't have a defuse kit as of yet.
Yeah, but Nuki with the options posted up on this position. I was going to say, without Kevlar, if he goes down here, this could get dangerous, and as he falls, it's going to leave it all onto Esperanto, but he does have a good position. He should be able to find this kill, but he actually isn't able to connect the shots. Chris J left for the moment, but a chance to try and clutch us now. And what is that flash? That works out perfectly. Chris J wins the 1-on-2. Didn't have a defuse kit, did not need it, and just a great 1 versus 2 was found to allow MOUSESPORTS to get themselves this 4th round onto the board.
Yeah, I was going to say in the pre-game, we didn't quite have time for it, but I was going to say, I think Chris J provides a lot of value to a team. He's not necessarily the best fragger, but he certainly still contributes to MOUSESPORTS, and also at least a pretty good in-game leader as well. I think just in general, he's quite a well-rounded player, and yeah, I think he's a very useful player to have on the team. Someone that's maybe a bit underlooked on the MOUSESPORTS side, and he has certainly been in pretty good form in the last few months. I think he's upped his game, and that's been a fairly big part of why MOUSESPORTS have been able to find a bit of success recently. Either way, heading into this 5th round, Esperanto decided to buy up the AK. He's gone down to $700. A little bit interesting. Nuki are going to spam through the smoke, but he takes a lot of damage, down to 18 HP. And Esperanto with the AK is over towards Monster as well, but it's Esperanto who gets caught out. The AK lost, and MOUSESPORTS, well, they won't quite be able to deny the AK. Nuki does pick it up, but still a man lost for MANS Not Hot.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to get much out of this one, really, as they don't really have much to work with. Cillian, of course, the only one that has the rifle. Not really the heaviest fragger, of course, with a MANS Not Hot side, so there would be better players to have that in the hands of, but he certainly can step it up. Let's see if that will be one of the rounds where that happens. He's just going to be making his way towards B now, along with the remainder of his team, and he instantly falls to the rocks, as it looks like, once again, MOUSESPORTS, we're going to shut this one down at least. Kills coming back in as Tensky, he's able to find 2 quick ones to open up the bomb site, along with support of Nexa, and if they spot out one in heaven, the bomb plant should be just able to go down now in a 2-on-2. MOUSESPORTS, this is going to be difficult, but the nades are perfect. Tensky taking out Nexa in a 1-on-2, able to get the first, and he should be aware now that Oscar is also over towards this position. Molotov goes down, but doesn't really do anything, pops in mid-air, not able to complete its flight path, as now it will be just the bomb finally gone down, and Oscar in a good position, but if he misses this shot, if the flash is perfect, then it could be risky, but with the M4 now, he has a better chance. Nexa is looking around the smoke currently, and he will just peek directly out into the crosshair of Oscar. MOUSESPORTS get themselves a 5th round, but it's a little bit costly. They lose a lot more players than perhaps you would have expected. They're able to get themselves up, but also with MANS Not Hot having very minimal investment, being able to get that bomb plant and 4 kills is definitely a lot more than they perhaps would have even expected.
There we go. They do manage to get a pretty good round, all things considered. However, still no rounds on the board for MANS Not Hot, and that is really what they need at this point. They've got that full buy you were talking about. Nukia picking up the AWP. As was discussed on the desk, it's Nukia now who seems to be picking up that AWP way more often than Esperanto for the MANS Not Hot lineup. And we are going to see that Molotov go towards short, but Chris J, ooh, he takes a lot of damage there. I think he thought he'd extinguished the molly. I think it was only the 1 molly in, so I don't know how it didn't get extinguished. But either way, net to play comes in, and Stiko can only get the 1 trade. Chris J is up close, but with that AWP, it's not exactly where he wants to be, so he has to fall back. And now MOUSESPORTS, they're in a 3v4 with 2 AWPs still in play. This is going to be quite difficult.
Certainly, Oscar, though, is the man that may be able to bring these rounds back in favour of MOUSESPORTS, and as I say that, he does manage to take down his Cillian. Finishes off the player who had been previously tagged up quite heavily, so the ideal player for MANS Not Hot to lose if they are forced to lose one. as they will just look to try and commit towards the A bomb site, where Oscar is still going to be alive, but he doesn't really last for too much longer. Rops finds only one before falling to Tensky. And once again, the 2 kills by Tensky will allow for the bomb site to be opened up. Let's see if this time if it'll be enough. Tensky is going to actually change the position of the bomb plant. Just being cautious of the flank. They're both towards the truck though, which isn't really the greatest position. But Chris J, as mentioned, he was packed up previously and now stuck out on the truck. He will be taken down as Tensky finds himself a triple in the round. And MANS not hot are able to claim their first.
Yeah, and actually, somewhat surprisingly, MOUSESPORTS don't have that much money built up. They are going to go for the Force, though. Oscar can just about drop the rifle, alongside having an AWP for himself. The M4 will go over to Rops. I'd say the 2 sort of standout players for MOUSESPORTS get the guns they were looking for. Although, to be fair, Sunny as a 3rd star is also very, very solid for that position. He's actually been, again, another one of the reasons why MOUSESPORTS have been such a strong team. There goes Nexa, though, winning that first fight in towards Connector. Surprised to see Chris J go aggressive there, because maybe if you're just having pistols, it's worth going for the push. However, they have a couple of players with the rifles that could still get the job done. And Chris J getting caught makes things a lot more difficult. We are going to see even more damage done to the MANS Not Hot side, though, and Sunny, pushing through Connector, manages to get that headshot. That's the bomb, I think, in his presence. Although he's not pushed far enough to spot it out, Sunny now falls back. That's really unfortunate for MOUSESPORTS, but it's still a 4 versus 4 with an extra gun in their hands.
Yeah, Esperanto being taken down low to 10 HP gives a pretty decent chance here for MOUSESPORTS. They have a solid set of weapons now. The only problem is they're lacking in utility. They don't have a defuse kit, so they will be perhaps looking to just try and shut this down before the terrorists actually make their way onto a bomb site. And speaking of that, they are going to have to make a decision soon about which one they want to go towards. And Oscar, he's pushing forward. The gun barrel of Nukia will be able to take them down as MOUSESPORTS are able to claim themselves a 1-man advantage. And now the bomb, 30 seconds to make its way towards the site, and it looks like it's going to go towards A, where currently a great setup is going to be in play for MOUSESPORTS. 2 players aggressive on short to try and delay the time even further. Or maybe even just get all the kills if it's Oscar that you're talking about, as he gets 2 at least. But Asilian finally trades it, but that should be the round now in favour of MOUSESPORTS, as I don't think there's anything that can be done. There's no time remaining, and it will be 6 now for MOUSESPORTS, as Asilian at least attempting to save. I don't think that's going to be allowed. Tico finds it from behind. And I actually just want to quickly say something about that round. I don't know if you noticed this, but when MANS Not Hot were taking control of A long, as Nukia threw out that flash, he quickly shot the op afterwards, had the timing to perfection, and actually completely masked the knives. I really like that play. Just a small detail that kind of makes it a bit easier for that pop flash to actually catch players off guard.
Yeah, that worked really well, but then the rest of the round kind of fell apart with Oscar in towards bathrooms. A little bit of a shame, but, you know, those small plays, as you were saying, can make a fairly big difference. But MANS Not Hot have again gone for quite a risky decision, going for the force buy. They get themselves 2 AKs, and next up close into Connector is going to win the fight of the SMGs. Surprisingly enough, MOUSESPORTS also had a couple of players on weak weapons. Stico there goes down with the MP9, and Chris J also only has a Deeg. So MOUSESPORTS certainly could struggle in this round, depending on how it ends up playing out. You can see into this current round, they are going to try and kind of spread thinly across the map. They have 2 players committed to A and 2 towards B, and the rotations between the site are quick enough, but oh, Chris J gets that shot with the Deeg in towards Connector. I was pointing out he only has the pistol, but still gets it done, back to a 4v4.
Yeah, great shot by Chris J, and that actually gives a bit of info now for MOUSESPORTS to work with. Rather, they're aware that there was at least 1 player attempting to try and come down Connector, but as we can see, the rest of them just grouping up towards Monster are going to try and overwhelm this B bomb site. Actually do decide to send 2 up towards short also, or it looked like they were going to, but no longer. Nukia will be looking to try and lead with the AK, but the Molotov is going to delay it a small amount. Luckily enough, still a smoke in play, we'll be able to extinguish that, but now down to 28 seconds of time, beginning to get low. Need to get these kills, and Nukia will at least be able to start that off strong. He finds the first Chris J, he will be able to trade that though, but it may not be enough, as now Oscar is going to be the last man standing. He hits the flick onto Esperanto. He gives an opening now, as in a 1-on-2 with 1 player being low HP. This could get dangerous. Oscar even trades his way out towards the AK-47, and this could be difficult still for the MANS Not Hot players. This is a pretty decent position for Oscar, but he may not expect a second in this spot. Tensky, let's see if he's going to be able to clutch this one out, as he does spot out Oscar and eventually gets himself the headshot. It got a little bit iffy. There was some nice damage at least found towards the end of that round by the final MOUSESPORTS player, but losing that one means now that their economy once again will be looking quite weak. They're facing up against an eco, and because of that we do see a pause being called, but rather it's actually by MANS Not Hot, so I presume technical.
Yeah, MOUSESPORTS can discuss in this time what they want to do with their buy. I would expect them to just go for one eco or maybe a couple of pistols invested, but there's no reason to force here. Either way, while there's a little bit of a pause, while the teams discuss what they want to do or those technical issues get fixed, I'm going to quickly mention our giveaway we have running here on eFrag. We've got a flip knife blue steel field tested, which is up for grabs. And to enter the giveaway, you just have to subscribe to the channel on Twitch. Especially if you've got a Twitch Prime sub still left, there's no reason not to. It's literally free for you, so make sure to check it out. If you want to get that flip knife blue steel, subscribe on the channel. That's going to be drawn on Sunday. And other than that, we're back into the game. And as expected, MOUSESPORTS only invest into pistols.
Yeah, just looking to try and get some damage done in this round. They know that once again, Mans not hot, only living with one player. They don't really get a chance to build up any economy. So into this one, Mans not hot, they spend everything to get out these rifles. So if MOUSESPORTS are able to drop at least a couple of those, they'll be in a good position in the following round to try and break their economy. As right now, Mans not hot should have at least an easy enough round into this one. Not really a lot invested into. There is Sunny who has the Deagle and Kevlar. But other than that, it's just going to be pistols. And I like that. There's Stiko run boosting his teammate over towards the other side of Monster so that if there was someone holding this position, they wouldn't be aware that anyone had crossed. There was no smoke down. They maybe wouldn't check that position. But over towards A now, it will be the first action coming in. Tensky's going to be able to claim himself a headshot on towards Sunny. And now MOUSESPORTS on a 4-on-5. They already lost that player who invested into the Kevlar. And it looks like Mans not hot are just going to be grouping towards this A bomb site. And it's going to be a tough hold as Oscar will be the man to look to try and at least get something done. He has a good position on the flank. He has the Desert Eagle, but he needs to try and get something before his teammates get overwhelmed on the bomb site. As now smoke begins to fade, Oscar from behind finds one at least, and Stiko able to step it up also. But still, the kills are going to be gone back in favour of the terrorist side. On the bomb site, won't be able to find anything. And now Rops will be left alone in a 1-on-3. Well, low HP on the two of these players. Perhaps a couple more kills is at least in the works for Rops. He'll actually catch Tensky off guard. That was the one who was looking actually quite healthy, but he wasn't able to take that. He will be taken down instead. And Mans not hot now, getting themselves up to 3. But as I said, MOUSESPORTS, they can buy into this one. They at least cause a bit of reinvestment for Mans not hot, which means once again they don't really build up any economy. And now this is going to be an important gun round for both sides.
Yeah, and that certainly puts this game right back in the balance. Mans not hot have brought themselves back to a decent enough position, but they have to win this round if they want to reset the Mouse economy again. We saw Oscar there peek towards mid. He didn't quite connect with the shot. He goes for the re-peek. Oscar just so confident with that AWP, and it gets him that reward of the opening kill in this round. And Oscar can be a very fun AWPer to watch because he generally is that confident with the AWP consistently. And Chris J wins a fight elsewhere, but Esperanto, 1 bullet, 1 kill, does eventually finish off Oscar. Having said that, Esperanto's making a lot of noise and the players are up close. Luckily for Esperanto, he's not going to go for the peek, but now Sunny peeks in towards him, so Esperanto brings it back to a 3v3. Having said that, take a look at the map. Chris J is on the big flank. Looks as though Chris J not pulling the trigger on the flank just yet. It's Stiko to get the kill out towards A long. Chris J has cleared A long himself though, and this could get awkward. Oh no, MOUSESPORTS seem to think it's a B play because Chris J didn't spot anyone towards long. Now I think they are going to stick with at least one player towards A. Indeed, Stiko will stay on the site. The M4 in hand, Stiko gets the dink. There's the first kill, and it leaves a Cillian on just 14 HP. And the bomb plant will not be possible. Chris J manages to finish things off. So MOUSESPORTS are able to win that round. And unfortunately for Mans not hot, that leaves them fairly heavily behind now. Not only do they have a 4-round deficit, but they also have a suboptimal buy into this 11th round. 2 AKs alongside 3 pistols bought up. But more importantly, take a look at the nades on the Mans not hot side. They have almost nothing to work with. Because of that, they're going to try the B rush, but Rops gets a triple kill. Nearly the quad. Chris J steals it away, and Chris J is going to spray down the second man. And that is Mans not hot getting completely shut out of the B site. I certainly understand why they tried to go for the fast play, but this time around, it completely goes against them. And now Man's Not Hot are in real trouble because they are down with just, well, almost no investment into this round. Just a couple of pistols into this 12th. And at this point, I think Man's Not Hot are just going to have to try and, you know, mainly play for the second half. This T side has not really worked out for them. Stiko holding towards mid, gets that quick headshot. Oh, Stiko just puts one bullet through that smoke and manages to take down a Cillian. I know it's only against pistols, but that is still impressive and a very, very nice way for MOUSESPORTS to open up this round. Oscar holding connector gets another spray transfer. 2 kills for Stiko, 2 for Oscar. And Stiko decides to steal away the MVP with that 3rd kill at the end there. Man's Not Hot finally back to a bye, and this time they do have nades, but they're already fairly far behind here. 9-3 down now.
Yeah, it's still salvageable. Of course, they can still try and get these final 3 rounds, and then actually 6 would still be a pretty solid number. They would probably be fairly happy with that, especially considering the start. But right now, MOUSESPORTS is just looking quite good. They've built up a bit of an economy. They are going to decide to even keep one FAMAS into this round, even though Stiko has 7,100. So they're definitely feeling confident at the moment. And we see early on some control just going to come in towards, oh, that's spam by Tensky. Takes Oscar down to 65. It's not the most damage, but it is a decent amount to find, especially with Esperanto himself being taken down to 31 early on, and now Tensky receiving some. As the spray through Monster just is wild, and Oscar pushing forward, baited straight into the crosshair of Esperanto. Nice find by Man's Not Hot there to get themselves that 1-man advantage. And in MOUSESPORTS in a 4-on-5, we likely will see some more aggression coming in. The question is about where, and it seems to be the boost, and that's just going to be read perfectly by Tensky. Sunny falls, and now Man's Not Hot with a 2-man advantage should be able to claim themselves a 4th round unless some heroic plays are pulled off by MOUSESPORTS.
Yeah, we have seen Stiko out towards A, try and get some information. However, I'm not sure how many players he will spot before the push comes towards the site. 45 seconds left, and Man's Not Hot are going to group up around A long. So Stiko should get the early information. That might allow him to call for the rotate, but how many kills can he get? He does get the 1, but the trade is too quick for him to do anything else. MOUSESPORTS have, however, rotated up towards A, and you can see Man's Not Hot still not grouping up. 2 players at A long. The bomb is dropped as Chris J lines them up. It's back to a 1v2 now for Rops. Time is ticking down. Man's Not Hot needs to speed this up, but oh, Rops taken incredibly low on health. 13 seconds. Man's Not Hot making their way forwards. Rops is in towards Bank, and he might get that kill. Indeed, he does. Nexa just about has time, but he goes for the fake plant. Oh. And Nexa, with balls of steel to not commit to the plant there, wins his team the round.
Rops, he was just repeating to himself, pros don't fake, pros don't fake, pros don't fake. He walked forward with his knife out and just instantly got taken down. Really, in that situation, he probably should have just had the gun out, because even if he ran with his knife in that position, likely the bomb plant would have came down no matter what. Having the AK ready then to hold for that peak probably would have been ideal, but yeah, I guess in the moment it's a little bit harder. I'm, of course, Captain Hindsight. But yeah, it is going to be another round for Man's Not Hot. It's not quite as one-sided as we thought it would be after they found those 2 initial kills, but they do get it in the end. MOUSESPORTS able to get the buyout once again, though, and it's looking quite a bit better than Man's Not Hot. Of course, that double up setup always gonna be better than having a double UMP setup. And there we go, Esperanto, though. He will find that opening kill, takes down Stiko towards middle, and Man's Not Hot once again claiming that first blood.
Yeah, they've done a decent job at getting entries in some of these rounds, but just as I say that, Oscar gets the trade back, and the AWP is going to get a second. Oscar in towards connector could have been a bit vulnerable. However, his teammate Sunny has pushed through, so Oscar will be fairly happy to hold this angle. Having said that, now he could be in danger. Sunny goes down, and Oscar's going to look back towards connector to try and get this pick. Oscar up to a 3K. And he might just get the 4. Peeking up towards top connector. However, up close, now Nexa takes him down and just about gets his AK out for the second frag. There we go, Man's Not Hot. Even though it was looking like a poor start for them, if they can salvage 6 rounds at the half, they'll be, I think, quite happy with that.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be happy with that, as I said a couple of moments ago. As when they were in 3, I said if they can get the next 3, they will be happy, and it's looking quite likely now. They get themselves up to 5 already, but Oscar having the op is something that they still have to be wary of. He looks like he is going to be trying to go aggressive, and it works out. Esperanto falls, you know, just holding for that repeat. Will be able to find that successfully, and that will be the will be a bit of a better situation now for MANS Hot. They're happy enough with that trade. They'll be happy that they're able to keep it in a 4-on-4. And Oscar, I guess he was thinking, we don't really have the weaponry, I need to keep aggressing. Maybe one kill isn't enough, but it was definitely the incorrect decision to reface that one, I'd say. As now MANS Hot looking good. They are just going to regroup outside of B, it seems, and try and make their way in towards this side of the map. But then again, Sonny, look how aggressive he is. He's up close, gets the spray down on 2. He eventually trades it, but a lot of info has been gained. The bomb has been spotted. Also, a man advantage will now be in favour of MOUSESPORTS, but Rops just looking to try and continue to play up close with his UMP.
Has gone into that corner. Will it be checked? Nexa is methodically clearing the angles, and that allows him to bring it back to an even position. 2v2. And MANS Not Hot are just going to push straight up onto the B site. And considering Stiko is the only player here for the time being, he's going to have to play very passively, very patiently, and wait for Chris J to get into position. That is happening as we speak. The bomb goes down. Chris J is on the big flank, and Stiko manages to deny the bomb plant. Nexa, the last man left, is caught out by Chris J. And MOUSESPORTS do manage to snatch away double digits right at the end of the half. And you can see quite a few players fragging on the MOUSESPORTS side. Oscar and Chris J both leading the way for the team. And with a 10-5 lead, they'll be feeling, I think, quite good about their chances, especially if they can win that pistol like they did in the first half.
Oh yeah, the pistol will be extremely important here for MANS Not. There's not really any other way to say it. If they don't take this, they're not really going to have much room to work with. Going over now onto the CT side, of course, it is the side of the map that there is a bit of a favoritism towards. It definitely is the side where you'd expect the team to come out with a slightly higher number at least. But if they do lose the second pistol round, then likely MOUSESPORTS just run the way up to 13 before the guns even come out for MANS Not Hot. So this is going to be important, and you can see right now a bit of a gamble going to be coming in by the CT side. They stack up towards B, and they're going to be doing so quite aggressively as they look to try and face, and that's not really going to work out early on. Rops with the Glock, he opens that up. USP being retrieved, able to get himself another headshot into Nukia and Nexa, as Tensky's going to be the last line of defense over towards B. Gets himself 2 also, as he's looking to try and return the favor, but Sonny comes in instantly, and now it's looking much brighter for the MOUSESPORTS side as they claim themselves a 2-man advantage and leave it all onto Asilian. Try and clutch out the 1-on-3. He will be, of course, looking to try and go for this one. He's going to be coming in from heaven with 3 players to find, and currently no defuse kit in his possession. It's looking unlikely, and as his head's taken off by Chris J, it's definitely impossible, and MOUSESPORTS get themselves that 11th round.
Yeah, and it was that all-important pistol round we were discussing that goes the way of MOUSE. And you can see they realize what that means for them. They are going to make sure they have no chance of, well, obviously there's some chance, but they're minimizing the chance of losing this round by making sure they have plenty of rifles. Having said that, MANS Not Hot are going to stack up with a little bit of a stack out towards A long. That could work here because the quick pace play is coming in, and Asilian up close with the ZZ gets the first kill, and that is the bomb dropped. There goes a second frag for Asilian. The CZ putting in a shift. And MANS Not Hot might have a chance to win this round now. However, they are still up against 3 AKs. Just like say that though, Oscar's down to 8 HP. Esperanto does get caught in the back. So finally MOUSE get their first frag. They still need to get that bomb back.
And also Oscar down to 8 is not going to be good at all. Having that AK isn't really too viable when you're only 8 points of HP. Chris J though, he will be able to at least return 1. Finally drops a Cillian, but Nuki with one of his own before falling to the hands of Rops. So we end up in a 2-on-2. HP advantage, of course, still slightly in favour of the MANS Not Hot side. And Nexa actually in a pretty good position here. Maybe able to catch Oscar off guard. He gets himself an easy headshot and brings it down to a 1-on-1. Rops, we've seen him in this position a few times over on the CT side. Let's see if he'll be able to clutch it out this time. But he gets caught off guard with a smoke in his hand. But he is yet actually to fall, as he still has the chance to try and hit the shot. He spots out Nexa pushing up close. And because of that, he's just going to begin to sprint his way back. He could just go down connector towards B. And it looks like that will indeed be what he goes for. Nexa now has to be cautious, has to be wary that Rops could still be hanging around close up to the bathrooms. As the bomb goes down though, he should now be aware, and it will be a 1-on-1 retake with no defuse kit for Nexa to work with. Now Rops, he knows he can just try and play the time on this one. Has to be cautious though, because Nexa in such an aggressive position can really come in from anywhere, but he will now be known as his steps are going to be heard, making his way in. So many different angles to try and clear. And look how Rops is playing this. He's playing it perfectly, and knowing that it's a force by coming in from MANS Not Hot, likely they won't have a defuse kit. And because of that, he just doesn't go for a single peek. He's happy enough to just hang back. Nexa has to try and find this kill, and it's not going to work out as Rops will get it, and he clutches out the 1 versus 2.
Yeah, I think Rops really played that one to perfection. That looks like he was completely in control of the clutch. Even just down to that initial smoke out in towards bathrooms. You saw there, Nexa on the other side of that smoke couldn't take the risk of pushing through because he wasn't sure if Rops was still around. And if Rops is just watching that smoke, you can't go through that because you're just going to lose the 1v1 and it's going to look fairly silly. Either way, MOUSESPORTS now are just going to rush straight onto the B site. They're up against full-on USPs. And they're just going to try and get this round over and done with as quickly as possible because they have plenty of MAC-10s. Oscar even just sticking with a Glock because he's confident his teammates can clean it up. And the MAC-10s get all the kills between them. A nice little money maker and just a 27-second round win for MOUSESPORTS there.
Yeah, and as I said, likely going to be 13-5 before the guns were brought out for MANS Not Hot, and that is indeed the case. You can see that right now, but they do get a pretty solid bio, which is a positive. We see MOUSESPORTS actually deciding to keep themselves a couple of SMGs into this one, the MAC-10s, but also with head armor lacking onto 3 of these players for the CT side. They will be still quite dangerous and quite viable, especially if they go for a faster round to take them close range in towards the B bomb site, which it looks like they may be going for. Their presence all grouped up in this position. Next set, that's not going to blind them up. He will only find one though as Sticko gets the trade successfully, and Rops with the MAC-10 is getting work done. Trades to the Glock and is able to finish off Tensky eventually. MOUSESPORTS claim themselves both a man advantage and control of this B bomb site. And Utility now to try and hold them back for longer. Or maybe not. Rops, the smoke bounces back down onto the position that he's on, and that gives Sicilians a chance to try and get this one back in their favour. He's able to take down Oscar and also drop the bomb in the process. It's now in a 2-on-2, and Sunny looking for a weapon to try and upgrade towards. Doesn't really want to continue on with this MAC-10 if possible, but a Cillian in such a great position is going to spot them out. Rops needs to give them some assistance, which he will be able to do successfully by finding that headshot. And Nukia is going to be the last man standing. This man, there's some more solid players for this side, but he hasn't been having a great performance so far in this map. He's not going to be able to step it up either in the 1-on-2 when it's really required. As now MOUSESPORTS get a 14th and MANS Not Hot once again get their economy broken.
Yeah, and to be honest, Rops was maybe a little bit quiet on the CT side. He certainly wasn't playing poorly, but he just wasn't really needed in too many of the round wins. However, heading into the T side, he has really sort of blossomed into this, into the T side so far. You know, winning that 1v2 earlier, getting a 4K in that crucial gun round, and MANS Not Hot with just pistols again, not looking in great shape. You can see Rops is a little bit isolated over towards B. If he were pushed, and that M4 could be lost. However, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. And MOUSESPORTS, for the time being, just holding across the map. And MANS Not Hot, they will now push B short. Oh, in the meantime, Nukia down to 2 HP from that molly. The Deke does connect with one shot, but Sunny finds the opening frag for MOUSESPORTS.
Yeah, good start into this one for MOUSESPORTS. Sunny, though, he doesn't want to hang around for too long. He will, luckily enough, take at least one more kill before falling to Esperanto. But that could be a bit of a chance now for MANS Not Hot to get themselves back into this round, especially with Esperanto stepping it up with this Deagle. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough, as now Cillian will be the last man left standing. He's going to be into a 1-on-3 to try and clutch this one out, and he may be able to find at least one, but this is a good play right now for MOUSESPORTS. They're sticking together, they're making sure that they can peek simultaneously and just find this trade, which won't even really be needed. Stiko's able to just win that fight out, and it will be MOUSESPORTS now getting themselves a map point onto this. 15-5. I said at the start of this that I don't really see MANS Not Hot reaching double digits on at least one of these maps, and that's looking plausible for this one at least.
Yeah, and again, this was MOUSESPORTS' pick. It's not necessarily a map they're great on, but I mainly picked it, I think, because they've done their homework. They know that MANS Not Hot just simply don't play Overpass, and they had to ban Nuke, so they're left on a map they very rarely play. And heading into Mirage, which is MANS Not Hot's map pick, I still don't think they have a great shot there, to be honest. MOUSESPORTS are a very, very strong Mirage team. We are seeing Chris J get the work done. Only 2 kills, though. However, Oscar finds the trade back to a 2v2. MANS Not Hot have a chance to keep themselves alive here on Overpass. Oscar's still just holding off. The bomb hasn't gone down just yet. Now Oscar will commit to the plant. The flash comes in as Cillian tries to deny the bomb plant. It still goes down, though. Sunny on 16 HP has to try and clutch down to 2 points of health. And he will be taken down. So Cillian just about pulls it off on the B site hold. And MANS Not Hot not out just yet. But, well, 9 rounds in a row is a massive, massive ask.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a big one indeed. But while we have a moment, while we are just going to be getting back into the gun round, I want to go ahead and tell everyone that there is, of course, a giveaway being done on this channel. It is for a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested. All you have to do to enter yourself into the draw is subscribe to the channel, and then it will be given away on Sunday evening after the grand finals of the Farmskins Championship. So for now, we will get back focused on the game. Don't forget about that, of course. Get yourself in with a chance to get that drop. And look at this by MOUSESPORTS, up in the pace massively. Going to be just sprinting straight in towards the B bomb site. Stico leading the way with the Mach 10 gets one. Esperanto trades, and Nex also able to chime in with the AWP. As trades do go back and forth now. Sunny going to be able to drop one more, and now it's gone all back in favour of the MOUSESPORTS side. Sunny, he's turning it all upside down for MANS Hot, as it's going to be Nukia and Asilian that remain to try and get this 2 versus 3. One positive is the bomb is yet to go down, but it's only getting worse as Oscar claims the final 2 kills. And that will be the first map indeed, going in favour of MOUSESPORTS, 16-6. So I am going to now just throw it back to the analyst desk.
And there you have it. MAN was not hot against MOUSESPORTS as they lose 16-6 on overpass. Of course, it was picked by MOUSESPORTS, but still pretty dominant performance coming out of the international team of MOUSESPORTS. Hello again.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Of course, I mean, looking back at what we talked about at the beginning, that Oscar with AWP is probably going to be a threat for MANS Not Hot. He definitely was. Nuke wasn't really hitting his shots. He wasn't performing that well as he performed in group stage. Asilian had a rough game, underwhelming as well. On the other side, even Sunny, Oscar, Robs, everyone stepping up. That's why it's that big of a margin, like 16-6. Basically, MANS Not Hot. Yeah, there were some close rounds that went in favor of MOUSESPORTS, but 16-6, pretty convincing. Danny, what do you think? What went wrong for MANS Not Hot?
Well, Overpass is just that kind of a map. MANS Not Hot isn't playing so much, so often. You're basically seeing them playing on Cobblestone, playing on Mirage, but Overpass, like, nah. But still, when you have 5, let's say, enemy players with that. With so many kills from 17 to 22, Oscar managed to get these 2 or 3 kills in the last round, so he was top fragger with 22 kills. And I think it was Sunny with 17. But it doesn't matter, you're playing against 5 Terminators, and it's going to be a really tough game. But after all, MANS Not Hot, 6 rounds, yes, but Asilian, even though he played underwhelmingly, but he had those 2 kills with CZ towards A-Long when he killed Bomb Carrier, and MANS Not Hot almost won that round, even though I think it was Oscar who clutched that in 1v1 after the bomb was being planted on B side. But I was expecting...
It was Rups.
It was Rups, yeah. It was quite expecting... I was expecting this result, even though I said 16-8, but 16-6 is fair enough.
Yeah, pretty close. But Hogger, when you look at MANS Not Hot, they definitely didn't look like a team, I would say, because we had Oscar in connector, and then MANS Not Hot coming out of mid from balloons and so on, and they are going 1 by 1 against Oscar. And we said that when Oscar is on fire, you can't really go and like shoulder pick him and try to bait out the shots and everything, because he's ready. He killed 2 guys. Unfortunately, Robs, I think, was overzealous, wanted to climb out ladder, and
I think
and
it
Oscar.
was Sunny.
Sunny?
Yeah, in lower he climbed out.
Yeah, either way.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, whatever player it was. I mean, Oscar then had to worry about connector as well, so kind of missed two other shots. So it was drops, as I just got information.
I'm pretty sure it was Sunny, but doesn't matter. I mean, either way, it's a guy from the MOUSESPORTS, right? I want to say that's not how you need to approach that connector area, even if it's not AWP player there, because you cannot hit his shot. I mean, his headshot, right? Hit his head so easily. I mean, you just see a pixel, and if you know there's op, you just need to spread with 2 guys and try to trade kills, not go 1 by 1, especially on that kind of opper who cannot miss those. It's easy shots, right? And there was 2 rounds which were most important ones for the MANS Not Hot. That one They were forced by with few AKs, maybe one Galil, and without utility, they just rushed B long, right? Through the sewers, Monster, yeah. That was a really bad call. I mean, it was most important round for them. If you lose that round, you're gonna be ecoing for next two. So why? I mean, you don't have utility. You know, they're full of utility. Okay, you do that, but you know they cannot buy utility. They cannot buy mollies, nades for a long for the Monster, so they cannot close your rush, right? That was the first round. It's really misplayed, and second round, which is not misplayed. They just didn't have luck. That was that forced buy on second round, on second half. They had 1-on-1. They just didn't have luck, and Robs were able to clutch that 1-on-1. So.
Yeah, that on long is pretty dangerous setup, but I would say that MOUSESPORTS made a big mistake there as well, going 1-by-1 on Asilian. And close range CZ, of course, really strong pistol right now. So yeah, there you have it. MOUSESPORTS taking first game 16-6. Of course, next map will be Mirage, and it was picked by MANS Not Hot. So they still have a chance to tie this series up and maybe go to a third map. But we'll see. MOUSESPORTS definitely so far favorites in this best of 3. Before we go to a break, just to remind you that Farmskins.com have currently cases on 90% off, so you can grab yourself a nice skin. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to Farmskins Championship and on the analyst desk of the Farmskins Championship as well. Hello once again.
You're so quiet. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, MOUSESPORTS versus MANS Not Hot. First map finished in favor of MOUSESPORTS 16-6 overpass. Next map is Mirage. And if we take anything away from overpass, it was that Asilion didn't really perform, Nuki as well, and he was their AWP, or he is their AWP player. So he needs to step up for Mirage in order for them to take it. Of course, MOUSESPORTS just need to continue to play like they did in previous map because it was working like a charm. Oscar was hitting his shots, and you want Oscar to hit his shots because he's unstoppable. But guys, Hogar, I'll start with you. What MANS Not Hot need in order to take this Mirage home?
2 players on the server. On
Not 5?
3. I mean, it
usually takes 5 players.
Yeah, I know, but they have 3, so those 2 needs to join in and start hitting their shots. And that's it. I mean, Mirage is their map. Nexa always played good at Mirage. I don't know, is he helping Asilion with the leading, in-game leading, but the Kassat's school, I would say, for that Mirage is pretty strange. They know how to approach that, and I think he transfers some knowledge how to play as a terrorist and how to rotate as a CT there. So that's a really good map for them, and it's open map. They can show their capabilities, but they just really need to their Oper Nukia just start hitting his shot. I mean, 6-7 frags for the map, it's really not enough. I mean, you with Oper, as Oper, you need to have more, especially on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, even on overpass he had a couple of chances, but he was missing really easy shots, especially on City side. But Danny, even though if Nukia shows up, of course, we saw him what he can do. We saw that crazy wall bang from mid as well from him with AWP. But seems like they, not just like they didn't play like a team, they played scared against MOUSESPORTS. We saw them in groups, like they were taking duels, they were going aggressive, bringing that individual skill back in their favor. But when it seems like when they play MOUSESPORTS, of course you need to respect them, but maybe they respect them too much. I would say. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. I think they were playing quite cautiously on overpass because Oscar was quite unpredictable. You can see him one round playing on A-long, the next round he plays in bathrooms or toilets, third round he's in connector, getting those kills. So it's quite it was quite hard for MANS Not Hot to take him down because he played so aggressively. If he continues to play like this on Mirage, either on CT or T side, it might cause a problem for MANS Not Hot. But if Nuki once again can't hit those shots, he should just give AWP to Esperanto, because overall I think that Esperanto is a little bit better AWP player.
However, what is the light of the end of the tunnel for MANS Not Hot? Do they need some strats towards A, trying to push with maybe 2-3 guys A ramp, trying to surprise MOUSESPORTS, take maybe part control of the map, if mid is not working, of course. If it's working perfectly, then they don't need to find a solution.
They just need good starts. To take piece around and to have clean anti-eco rounds, just to regain their confidence back and just to play like they could. I mean, you said they're showing actually too much respect for them. You cannot win against them. I mean, just don't respect anybody. It's not way how you should approach the game, because if you respect them, you will never win, right? You must think you're better opponent than they are. So that's it.
Yeah, let's start slowly with predictions for the second map. Mirage, Danny.
I'll say MOUSE winning 16-10.
16-10.
I'll say 16-5. MOUSE.
Once again, Hover with.
At least I was correct about who will win, not about scores.
Yeah, you were. Of course, we are ready to go live into the game with Knife Round and with our casters. Once again, Dean and Hoka, take it away.
Thank you guys for the great analysis as always. We should be having another good game coming up. We saw MOUSESPORTS on that first map take it in what was quite a considerable fashion. It was 16-6, I believe, the final scoreline. And they will be also able to claim themselves the knife round now to open this one up and decide which side they actually want to begin on. It looks like that will be the CT side. What do you think about this one, Hawka? Do you think they maybe could have went with the T side and controlled the pace, considering they seem to be the better team for sure? Or do you think they're better off just going for the comfortability, going to just try and lock this one down?
Yeah, I don't mind them going for the CT side here, especially when, you know, they have the opportunity to get those AWPs out early on. That's something that Oscar was certainly having a lot of success with back on Overpass. So I think having him with that AWP on Mirage will certainly be valuable if he goes for a few aggressive peaks. And you can always have the second AWP brought up by Chris J. He's certainly comfortable with the weapon as well. So I think it's fine to start CT side, try and get a good start, try and get those double AWPs rolling. Either way, Oscar has just taken the silencer off his USP. In the meantime, Man's Not Hot are going to go straight up for this A play.
Yeah, I don't know whether this is maybe that GoTV glitch, but there we go, Oscar finding a couple of nice headshots. Sunny just hiding in the ninja corner, able to find one, and it's going to be all going in favour of the CT side. Only one kill, rather a second kill was also found by Esperanto, but with his position known and a 1-on-3 now to try and clutch out, it's not going to be an easy one. You'll see him just working around the window currently, but with the bomb also down in the open between Rops and Sunny, who have a great crossfire setup. This is going to be a long road ahead for Esperanto if he actually wants to try and have a chance to clutch this one out. And you can see he's just kind of hanging around a window. There's a lot of time he's hoping that maybe some mistakes will be made. But as nothing is going to be really found for him, he finally has to begin to try and push forward. Going back to try and find Stiko once again. But still, Stiko just playing this safe. Doesn't want to give any sort of an opportunity for Esperanto to work with. Because of that, he will now even be able to just fall back. And ensure that he's in a position to work with his teammates. 45 seconds now remaining. Esperanto beginning to run slightly low on time. Needs to get a move on soon. Sunny, he has to be cautious of the flank also. Esperanto has been quiet for quite a while, but Rops will be able to find that headshot successfully. And MOUSESPORTS end up finding that pistol. Not really much to be done by Man's Not Hot. That fast play just not really working out in their favour.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I'm fairly certain that Oscar was meaning to take off the silencer, because I believe he did the same back on Overpass for the pistol round. So I think it's just Oscar things, just big Oscar plays coming in. I mean, I think it makes the gun slightly worse from what I remember. Even like statistically, it might actually make the USP a little bit weaker, but I don't think it's a massive consideration. And he's still got 2 kills with it, so there you go. The USP getting the job done. And MOUSESPORTS going fairly heavily into the rifles, trying to make sure they don't fall foul to the pistols. Having said that, the players at B Apartments are gaining some ground. Stiko is the one man with an ump. He's playing up close in towards this position. And now he might just pounce. In comes the peak, double spray down. And a beautiful start for MOUSESPORTS, as Oscar also chimes in with a kill.
Yeah, just nothing to be found so far from Man's Not Hot. Only 2 players remaining. And that's being in the B Apartments. The final player being in the B Apartments, that is now. Stiko finds himself a headshot. So MOUSESPORTS, they are able to survive that one with 5 players alive. And that was a fairly heavy investment coming in terms of what was available for Man's Not Hot. They spent a lot of their money. They did keep some at least to allow in the following round a decent amount of utility to come out, and also the op should be available for Nukia. But into this one, only P250s, 3 Glocks and 1 flash are going to be available. So let's see what they go for. Looks like they may just try pile out a Palace. This is a fairly common thing to go for. You see Asilian will throw a flash over. They try and pile out towards the default position. The bomb tries to get planted, and the rest of the players just push towards the CT spawn to try and create space. But when you have an M4 on stairs, it's just not really going to work out in their favour. Just getting mowed down completely. Rops. He's looking to try and get himself this 4K, and he'll be able to do so. The ace was denied by Sunny, I believe that was, but he'll be happy enough with being able to pad his stats there by finding 4 and just shut down the eco and deny the bomb plant. So Man's Not Hot. They will now be buying into this, as I mentioned, and they actually won't have an AWP. Nukia, happy enough with the AK, it seems.
Yeah, he certainly, I was going to go for the AWP, considering he had enough money saved up for it, but decides against the AWP for this round. In the meantime, MOUSESPORTS also haven't decided to upgrade. They're keeping all the weapons they had from the previous round. So they've still got a decent buy together. However, they won't be massively disappointed if they lose. They have a lot of money in the bank. And here we go. It looks as though Man's Not Hot again. Focused towards the A side of the map. I'm somewhat surprised to not see them go for mid-aggression, because they have quite a lot of utility, and most teams on the T side like to gain mid-presence and then try and split towards the site. But no, Man's Not Hot deciding not to go for that. They're just going to go again for this A push, this time with a full-on A execute.
Yeah, and the smoke's actually placed perfectly. Allows them to get their way out towards the bomb site. A bit of damage also being put in towards Chris Jader as he tried to spam into the smoke, but Oscar is going to be able to connect a small amount onto Asilian. It wasn't enough to actually deny the bomb plant, and Esperanto in a great position, pushed up close to jungle, will find one. Flash goes down, now that allows him to also advance in towards Connector and be in a bit of a safer position. I think because of that, Chris Jano going to try to reposition towards Short instead to try and get this kill, but it's not going to work out in his favour. Esperanto gets a second, and Sunny now on the flank has the chance to get something done, doesn't get the first, so that he will end up being taken down by Asilian after only dropping next to, and all the kills are going to be going in favour of Mans Nahat as they do take the first gun round with 4 players alive. Nuki steps it up with the AK there to close that out with a double headshot for himself. But as you mentioned, MOUSESPORTS, they did decide to keep the weaker weaponry into that one. They weren't really too bothered if they lost it. Their goal into that one was at least cause as much damage as they possibly can, and then just try and reset the economy, because that then puts you even in an even better position. So that will still be their goal into this round, and they do go for that double up setup. As you mentioned, Chris J also a very capable upper. He was the main upper for the MOUSESPORTS lineup for quite a long time. Oscar, of course, coming in and taking over that role. And speaking of Oscar, he's going to be able to take down Asilian as Mans Nahat down in a 4v5. And it looks like because of losing that open advantage, they may just try and instantly commit towards the B bomb site. Stiko, he's going to be all alone, though, cut off completely from any form of support. So he needs at least 1 or 2 kills out of this. And he does drop the bomb. He'll be able to take down Esperanto also. And great work being done there by the Slovakian player over towards B. And Chris J now at the up is going to be able to chime in with 1 onto Nukia. So Tensky going to be the last man standing. Left in a 1-on-4. Will be just up in the apartments, and his position is known. So a couple kills may be the ideal situation now for him. That won't even be possible. Oscar, he starts it off and he closes it out, as it is going to be MOUSESPORTS resetting the economy of Mans Nahat.
And as you were saying, Chris J, certainly a proficient AWPer, helps out with that round win. I also think it's quite useful for MOUSESPORTS to have 2 fairly different sort of style of AWPers, where Oscar certainly is very willing to go aggressive. Chris J certainly can go for aggression, but I feel like he generally seems to feel more comfortable when he just generally sort of holds angles, plays that more sort of turret style of AWPing, similar to Skadoodle. Either way, Sunny in towards mid, turns his back, and ooh, a quick 3k for him. Actually, sorry, only a double kill. Oscar stole one of the frags away. So they both get 2 kills on the mid hold, and ooh, nice shot from Tensky. Don't think it will lead to too much, but he gets a second. At least doing a little bit of damage. However, Stiko was going to finish him off. Not quite over yet. Tensky not going to land a shot, though very low. Eventually finished off. And Mans Nahat already 5-1 behind. And if they want to break this MOUSESPORTS economy, they're going to have to win more than 1 rounds at this point. You can see MOUSESPORTS have decent cash already built up.
Yeah, it's not really going to be an easy road ahead right now for Mans Nahat. MOUSESPORTS just continuing on with the momentum and confidence from Overpass, clearly, as right now they are looking like the better team. But Nukia, he's going to go ahead and shut down Oscar. That's a great player to find early on, taking down the player who's really been having the most impact for MOUSESPORTS. And eliminating him off the server. And now MOUSESPORTS, let's see what they decide to do to bring this back in their favour. We've seen them a lot just going for these aggressive pushes. It is something common to go for when you're down in that 4-on-5, and you can see it will be happening. Chris J, he pushes up mid and actually wins out that fight against Nukia, so it will be returned into a 4-on-4. And it looks like Chris J, after finding that kill, will be happy enough with just retreating back off now and making his way back up short and playing safely with his teammates. Oh, he stays out on short, actually looking to try and get another kill, it seems.
Yeah, for what it's worth as well, Sunny at the start of this round didn't have a rifle. I think he just forgot to buy one, but he managed to pick one up from his teammate's dead body. While I was speaking, Tensky gets the 1 kill. However, the trade comes out from Chris J with that in towards short. That does, however, force MOUSESPORTS to again spread their defense more thinly across the map. Only 3 players left to hold off plenty of angles on either side of the map. And you can see what that means. Rops is only watching in towards A ramp, whereas Nexa has already pushed out through Palace. So that should allow Mans Nahat to be able to gain ground towards A quite easily, and it is a quick trade, but Chris J, watching the cross from jungle, makes sure that there is no chance for Mans Nahat to get the bomb down without a loss. And that loss is 1 player going down. Esperanto, though, spots out the player. There was a team flash in the mix there. And now Sunny, after that poor flashbang, has to close out the 1v1 by himself. Sunny spots out the man towards the site. Nade goes in, Esperanto forced into the open, and he decided to go for the peek, which didn't work out. Sunny makes up for his poor flashbang by winning the clutch in the end.
Yeah, good work by Sunny to win that one out there. That was a it was a difficult 1v1. That position, of course, he knew where Esperanto was, but even then, it's just so difficult. If you come up the stairs, a lot of the time the player will be posted on a position. If you decide to go back down, you give him the opportunity to actually get into a spot there to try and just hold the angle on you. So it's a difficult one. He done it correctly. That nade was perfectly placed, just committed to the spray, and it worked out perfectly for him. So it is going to be MOUSESPORTS getting themselves up to 6. And once again, MANS not hot. They aren't going to have the money to get the full investment into this one. They will just have pistols. Kevlar onto 4 of those players also, and 2 of those having the helmets. But right now, it seems to be just a fairly standard default coming in by the T side, just splitting up all across the map. Making their way through underpass also means that the A split perhaps could be on the cards. And next they hit the grey headshot onto Chrisje. Cillian trades out by taking down Sunny. And Oscar on low HP in the window is a bit of a dangerous position currently, especially with Tensky being able to open up this A bomb site on towards Rops. So Stiko and Oscar were the last 2 now standing. Both of those working with AWPs. And Oscar barely clinging onto life, only 18 points of HP. Now MANS not hot. Take full control of the A bomb site. The bomb will be planted. And they also have 1 rifle to work with to try and hold down this after plant. Let's see what MOUSESPORTS are going to be able to get done. Oscar, he will be the one leading the way. Stiko, he has to look to try and join his teammates soon if they're actually going to try and go for this one. But they're not really having any success at being able to spot out any players to try and actually open this one up. And I think because of that, they've already decided to go for the save.
Yeah, understandable with the 2 AWPs at this point to just look to save them. Not only do you have a lot of value in these 2 weapons, but you also have a very difficult retake when you have the AWPs in play. Sure, you might be able to get 1 kill if you win 1 fight. That's at least something, but then if you get traded on, there's nothing you can do. It's very difficult to transfer frags. So MOUSESPORTS do decide to save those 2 AWPs. I'll be interested to see if Stiko sticks with his AWP, though, because he went over towards B that round. I think they were giving him the AWP just to try and hold apartments, while the rest of the team all focused elsewhere. So I think that's what MOUSESPORTS had in mind, and it didn't necessarily work out in that round. Even though they had the rest of the team playing elsewhere, it wasn't necessarily Stiko's fault. He was solo holding B, but his teammates still couldn't get it done on the other side of the map. So it looks as though Stiko will now give the AWP back to Chrisje. And it looks like we've got a little bit of a pause coming in from MANS Not Hot. A tactical pause from them after winning the round. So while we have a little bit of downtime, I'm going to quickly bring you up to speed on our giveaway we have running here at eFrag. If you subscribe to the channel here on Twitch, you will be entered into the running to win a Flip Knife Blue Steel Field Tested. It's going to be drawn, this giveaway, on the Sunday after the Grand Finals. So this Sunday, make sure to stick around to see if you win that. And if you want to enter that giveaway, again, you just have to subscribe on the Twitch channel. So make sure to try your luck. And either way, back into the action. MOUSESPORTS still with a decent lead. And MANS Not Hot taking that tactical timeout. Again, go back towards this A site early on.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen into this one. MANS Not Hot after calling that tactical pause, trying to ensure that they don't get reset once again. And looks like they will be looking to try and go for just an immediate execute towards A, as has previously been mentioned. Perhaps thinking they've noticed a bit of a weakness, but you can see MOUSESPORTS themselves even taking a bit of a gamble now. 4 players are going to be over on this side of the map. Sunny is the furthest away, but uses a smoke to, once again, smoke off that palace position and kind of adhere to T-push for the moment. They won't really be able to push quite out yet because 2 players in palace, or rather 1 player in palace, doesn't really want to be pushing straight through smoke. Not always the best idea. Smoke goes down towards CT now, and let's see if Mouse are going to be able to actually hold this one. Stiko up on top of the palace is in a pretty solid position to try and get something done, but as the Molotov goes down, it could get difficult. But Chrisje steps it up massively, finds a double, ups that to the hat-trick, as now it's going to be all onto Nexa in a 1-on-4, and he's spotted coming through the smoke. The gun barrel gives away his position, and it will be MOUSESPORTS once again to come in with that reset on towards the T-side economy, and even with that tactical pause, they weren't able to chain the rounds together.
Yeah, and we did see MOUSESPORTS stick with a very similar setup to the round that they even played before. Despite losing that past round, they clearly realized that it was still the best setup to have with the AWP solo holding B, because they didn't really have much action towards that position. So Oscar was alone towards B, and this time Oscar tries to go out towards mid, but he gets caught off guard. Nukia with the AWP is going to open things up. Take a look at the buy from MANS Not Hot. They don't really have too much to work with, so that was a very crucial opening pick, but Sunny just straight up pushes through that smoke to get the 2 kills back. I believe he was flashed in for that peak, and that allowed him to give the advantage now over to MOUSESPORTS, and it might be extended further because Nexa is going to get caught in the open. MOUSESPORTS doing a good job at recovering after losing the opening pick.
Yeah, and Christian even able to get himself another there onto Tensky Nukia. That's a shot he should really be hitting. That was a sitter. We saw that player there just kind of sitting on top of the window, just standing completely still. Nukia doesn't connect that. Perhaps the nerves coming in a little bit, because usually he hits those. You usually see him hitting the insane flicks also. So not really having the best performance so far throughout this series, as he's left to try and glitch out a 1-on-4, and it looks like he may be walking directly towards where Christian is currently just posted up on, and it's not really going to work out in his favor. He does get taken down. MOUSESPORTS able to get a second round in a row as they bring themselves up to 8, and Man's Not Hot now down by 6. Looks like that may be even further increased, as they are averaging just about $2,000 onto all 5 players other than Esperanto, who has a little bit extra to work with.
Yeah, just 5 Glocks in this round for the T side. Shouldn't really be doing anything. Oh, never mind. Esperanto actually manages to get a slight investment right at the end. A P250 and a set of Kevlar for him. They're just going to try and run through the smoke. They could get the bomb plant here, depending on what the timing is like, but Sunny will rotate over. Here comes the spray transfer. Nothing to be had for the T side. MOUSESPORTS keep on extending that lead. And this was always going to be the issue for Man's Not Hot. Even though they are a fairly good Mirage team, this is one of MOUSESPORTS' best maps. So the fact that you have to pick it into them always makes it difficult. And MOUSESPORTS clearly proving that. I mean, Sunny up there at 15 kills, only 2 deaths. He's having a storming performance. And the rest of MOUSESPORTS also showing up.
Yeah, and that investment by Esperanto in the previous round means that he doesn't have an op into this one. But Asilian, he will be able to at least find the opening, gets that in favor of his team, receives some damage back by Sunny there, who just spams wildly through the smoke, and Rops up close to Ramp. Gets the double headshot, makes that 3. So it will be Sunny to close down next, and Rop steps it up massively, as Man's Not Hot, even with that opening advantage, the round just not going to be working out for them at all. It will be MOUSESPORTS to reach double digits as they lead by 8, and Man's Not Hot, once again, their economy has been broken. This seems to be the thing that I've said so often throughout this entire series, but it's just what keeps happening. They haven't been able to chain rounds together on either map so far, and that's never going to work out in favor of either team. You just can't build up economy, you can't actually back yourself up with the weaponry, and you're just battling from behind all the time.
Yeah, exceptional aim on show there from Rops. Headshot after headshot comes his way. That's always the danger of giving away the AK to the CT side as well. That is something that can come back to cost you. And Sunny this time around gets the opening kill towards mid. I mean, again, it's just complete decimation. I know Man's Not Hot only have pistols, but in a fair few of these rounds, MOUSESPORTS have been able to get almost every kill. Okay, Oscar. Okay. Shoots his teammate in the leg. Not really very nice, but I guess they're going to win the round anyway. Nexa does eventually fall, and it's a nice little team ace for MOUSESPORTS in this 13th.
Yeah, now Man's Not Hot, they will be able to get the buy back out. Nukia would have had enough to get the off if he wanted to there, so once again, strange. They're really forfeiting that, I guess. When you're up against the likes of Oscar and Christian, perhaps your confidence will be affected, and yeah, neither Nukia or Esperanto have seemed to have really wanted to pick this one up over the past couple of rounds. Both of those players, of course, are capable. Nukia seems to have it a little bit more often than not, but right now, Man's Not Hot with the 5 rifles. They're taking this one fast towards middle, and once again, Asilian will be able to open this one up. Takes down Christian. Stico gets caught off guard in the underpass. Pretty decent now for Man's Not Hot, as they're able to claim a 2-man advantage and make that 4 as instantly all the kills go in their favour. But Sunny trying to clutch this one out, finds the third kill, and this is getting a little bit scary now for Man's Not Hot. 2 players remain, both of those not really looking very healthy, but luckily enough Nexa is able to close that one out. If he fell, Tensky on 1 HP would have been left to try and clutch that one out, and that could have been a 1 versus 5.
Yeah, that would have been ridiculous if Sunny could have pulled it off. Doesn't happen this time around, though. Only the 3 kills. I say only. It was still a good effort from Sunny. You got to give him credit, considering he was the only man left. And he is still leading the way. 20 kills and still only 3 deaths. The only times he has died are when Man's Not Hot have won rounds. And wow, that's basically just a repeat of the earlier round there. Chris J again caught out towards mid. Seems like Man's Not Hot might have found a weakness in their opponent's setup, but it's just a little too late because we're already into the last round of the half. Either way, a man advantage quickly extended, although quickly traded back by Sunny, who also tries to make a play and ends up losing his life because of it. Rops is going to have to try and clutch a 1v3 here because it is the last round of the half, but he is just nowhere near the action as the bomb goes towards B.
Yeah, and this is looking likely that MANS not hot will at least get themselves a 4th round in this half, which isn't really too bad. If they're able to pick up a pistol, then they will be in a good position. But of course, you can never count Rops out of these situations. He is one of those players that just has great clutch ability. We've seen him pull off similar ones to this so many times. Not usually with the op, albeit, so may actually try and trade that over to a rifle if he gets the chance. But for now, the op will be looking to try and find this opening kill, waiting to see if any mistakes are made by any of the terrorist side players, as they're not really going to be peeking at all. They want to play this as safe as possible. They don't want to give any sort of chance really or any opening for Rops in this situation. Pensky, he eventually peeks there and will be able to find that final kill. So MANS not hot, they at least get themselves a 4th round. They finally chain together 2 in the end. And yeah, they've still, it's okay, I guess, as long as they can win the pistol. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, MOUSESPORTS just looking on point right now. It is fair enough to say that these as I was saying earlier, you know, I think it's fair to say these maps do favor MOUSESPORTS, and they were pretty big favorites coming into this game today, but just the fact that they've been able to win so far in such convincing fashion, I think, is certainly a good sign for them. And remember, the winner of this series here goes up against a Vanguard in the semi-finals. So I think MOUSESPORTS will be quite happy with that draw, to be honest. I know a Vanguard are certainly a dangerous team, but they certainly upset Space Soldiers today. I don't know if they'll be able to do the same against MOUSESPORTS, but here we go. The all-important pistol round coming into play. And MANS not hot have a very, very passive A-site setup right now. Esperanto and Nexa are both in towards jungle, so I'm not sure if they're going to be able to deny the bomb plant here.
Yeah, currently just going to be playing for the retake and may at least be the bomb plant for the T side to work with. Potentially he gets one. Nexa going to be able to find 2 quick kills, and he may even be able to get another as he does a small bit of damage on towards Rops, who just continues to face, and he actually gets Chris J instead. And Astillion will finally finish off Rops. So MANS not hot, they play the retake setup. We see MOUSESPORTS actually just play right into the hand that they were playing as they just push directly into jungle, where there's just 3 players set up in one of the most absurd crossfires I've ever seen, and it just works out perfectly.
Yeah, you do see teams on the T side somewhat often push jungle, even when they have site control. So not a terrible idea to try and get that crossfire going, and it's proven by the fact that MANS not hot managed to get a fair few frags from that. And so heading into this round, MOUSESPORTS did get the bomb plant, so not a massive investment here, but they still have a fair few upgraded pistols, so MANS not hot need to be somewhat worried. And again, Nexa is alone towards A. This time it will be a fairly long rotate as well, because Tensky is committed to window. Esperanto is just straight up standing in towards mid. So if a deagle shot were to land on towards him, he would be in trouble, but the bomb is currently in towards B apartments, so it doesn't look like any sort of push will come through yet. Just as I say, that Stico does push by himself, but doesn't get anything done. And now it looks like Oscar with the bomb is going to try and come back towards A, but MOUSESPORTS are already trying to push forwards here. Tensky with the rifle going to shut that down with ease. Nexa chimes in with a kill, and Oscar now with the bomb will finally show up, but he is way behind the rest of his team.
Yeah, he's just no real chance for him to get anything done. He has a Glock, he has 5 players to find. He actually gets the dink onto Esperanto, who you see instantly just take out his knife and run away. He just runs immediately into Sandwich like, nope, I'm done with this. I don't want to die. I don't want to give away this weapon. And yeah, that's probably the safest he could have played it. He knows his teammates are going to be able to close that one out anyway. Doesn't want to drop any weapons at all, because of that MANS not hot able to take that anti-eco with 5 players alive. But of course now MOUSESPORTS, they will be getting a buyout of this one. They have 3 AKs, 2 Galils, and a moderate amount of utility, I guess is the best way to put it. They don't have an abundance, but they definitely aren't working with absolutely nothing. They have some smokes, they have some flashes, and they certainly can maybe get some set plays into this one. As right now, Sunny, Tensky off guard, he's able to walk immediately up short and take him down. It will at least be returned by Nukia. Someone's not able to keep themselves on a 4-on-4, and Chris J. This is a very wide plant. He will be taken down by Esperanto, who's up on top of the palace, as he gets himself 3 quick kills. Rop's going to be left to try and clutch this one out. It wasn't 1-on-4 originally, and he was able to find 2 kills fast without actually losing any HP in the process. But he will go ahead and just fake the bomb plant just immediately in towards Nukia, who finishes him off for the off, and it's going to be another round for MANS not hot as they get themselves up to 7. And then MOUSESPORTS going to be once again facing off against an eco.
Yeah, it's Esperanto putting in work there to get that 3k. He waited very patiently as well, because he could have tried to go aggressive in towards ramp, could have tried to get a quick trade, but he just decided to bide his time, and that was clearly the correct decision. And whoa, Rops!
How was that a headshot?
Headshot? I don't know how that's connected. It's back to a 3v3 thanks to Stico also finding a frag. I think Rops just must have got really lucky there. I think he may have still been moving, and the Deegs nearly get another kill, but Sunny doesn't quite get the shot he needed. Nexa on 1 HP manages to survive. Stico will eventually take him down. However, the cross will be, I was going to say, cut off, but Stico still gets on the site, so the bomb will go down at the very least.
Yeah, that extra $800 is going to be at least decent for MOUSESPORTS to work with. There's a small chance of Stico being able to pull this one off, but it's quite unlikely. And as you see, once he goes for the peak, Cillian will be able to shut him down with the AK-47. So MANS getting themselves up to an 8th round. They won't do so as cleanly as perhaps they would have hoped. Some great deagle shots hit, some nice ones towards mid, nice ones towards A. But now MOUSESPORTS, they get the buy back out, and MANS let's see if they're going to be able to continue this comeback. They've picked up 4 in a row so far. Definitely stepping it up a bit more. It's the most rounds we've seen them chain together. They've doubled their rounds from the previous half already. As now the buy comes back out, Oscar gets the up, but as does Nukia, who on that previous gun round actually stepped it up massively, picking up those 2 kills that were quite crucial.
And it wasn't particularly Oscar stepping up on the CT side with that ball. I was kind of expecting him to be the aggressive player for MOUSESPORTS, trying to sort of get the opening frag. However, it never really went that way. Either way, on the T side now, he can try and work some entries if he so desires. As MOUSESPORTS go for that mid presence. Take a look at the map, though. Man's Not Hot have a massive presence over towards the A side of things. That's leaving a Cillian alone towards B. Could be a gamble that pays off depending on where MOUSESPORTS end up. Because right now, Rops is making sure no aggression comes out through A, and it looks as though they may just go for this split towards the A site. And I don't think they'll expect so many players to have been committed towards A. However, just as I say that, Tensky is now back in towards Kitchen, so that'll make things slightly easier. Only 3 players on the A hold now.
Yeah, Nexa in a decent position. He is going to be underneath this Palace spot also with some support, as he is able to actually shut down 2 players instantly. Chris J and Sunny are dropped, and Oscar now working from connector to try and return this one. It's going to be difficult, but he has some room to work with. He gets 1 kill, receives a dink in return, and Tensky just spamming away wildly will be able to finish him off. Stico is the last man standing, and his position has been spotted, and he has been neutralized by a Cillian as MANS get themselves another gun round onto the board. And now it's only 2 rounds in the difference, as likely that's going to be decreased even further. MANS should be getting double digits, as MOUSESPORTS, the best they're going to have into this one is maybe just Pistol and Kevlar to try and give some form of firepower to work with.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind a timeout after this round for MOUSESPORTS ahead of the next gun round for them, because this is starting to get a little bit, well, a little bit worrying, I guess, for them, because they have now lost 5 in a row. Having said that, Oscar has the scout in place. Stico tries to just walk through the smoke. That kind of looks like a play made out of frustration more than anything else, because, yeah, sure, you can try and walk through a smoke, but I'd much prefer if he did so with support from a teammate, just backing him up. Just a simple flash through the smoke is fine, but he just completely straight up walks through the smoke straight into his death. So MOUSESPORTS are going to lose that first frag. In the meantime, the bomb is currently in towards A ramp. So it looks like this is the sort of end game of this round for MOUSESPORTS. However, again, MANS have a pretty decent presence towards A for the time being. And with Nukia having the AWP back at CT, that could make things difficult, but he's actually gone very passive. So now only 1 kill may allow the bomb to go down. Just as I say that, Nukia does come back in towards CT, and Esperanto also frags towards me.
Yeah, and it's just going to be all going in favour of the CT side. Final kill will be found by a Cillian, and MANS finally reached double digits. So the comeback it is indeed on. Only 1 round in the difference as MOUSESPORTS, they get a buyout once again. But if they're to lose this gun round, this is likely going to be the lead gun in favour of MANS. So they need to start stepping it up. They've now lost, I believe, 6 rounds in a row. So not looking too hot so far on this T side, the MOUSESPORTS side. As now, let's see what they decide to go for into this round. So far, they've just mostly been focusing on that mid control, and I don't think it's really going to be changing too much. It seems to be their focus once again. They use that utility well, at least, to cut off the viewpoint of the player in window. And Oscar, very aggressive, but he's burning alive in the Molotov, taken down to 15. And he's going to be forced forward, where a Cillian may be able to finish him off with only 1 bullet needed. As Oscar now not in the greatest position, forced forward in the apartments. I think a Cillian isn't really aware of this, which is a small positive. But if he spots at the barrel of the op, then Oscar is going to be in a real sticky situation. As right now, yeah, there we go. It has been spotted finally. Asilian spots it out, pushes up, should know he's low from the Molotov, just pre-fires the angle, and he finishes him off with ease. So MANS claiming themselves the first man advantage.
Yeah, I'd have thought that the step should have been heard there by Asilian prior to that, but spotting the gun barrel gets him the kill, and Sunny just about gets that frag towards mid. He was nearly caught with awful timing, but it's going to go the way of MOUSESPORTS. Chris J gets another entry out towards A, and now Nukia with the AWP needs a kill here, but he doesn't connect. Nexa though, still on the site, gets the 1 kill. Needs a little bit more though, and in comes the trade. So MOUSESPORTS hold on to their man advantage. Nukia is, however, still in towards CT, and MOUSESPORTS with 34 seconds. Does the bomb even have time to go back towards B? I don't know if it does, but MOUSESPORTS aren't really with Stiko right now. This is somewhat strange. 25 seconds. They've come all the way back from A over towards mid, and they're going to try and see if they can get the bomb down.
Yeah, working up connector, just making sure they have control of that area so they can actually plant it for this position, avoid the op in CT. I like that play overall. It's a bit risky, especially with Asilian in jungle, but a Molotov will hold them back for the moment. Chris J on low HP, jumping around the corner. That's a very interesting choice, as that gives a bit of an opening, but Stiko spots out that player in jungle. Doesn't really get the damage done that's required, and Nukia pushing out, maybe able to find this player up on top of the bomb site, and he does so with the CZ. So Sonny's going to be left to try and clutch this one now. He has 2 kills already, needs to try and double it, as I don't think they're currently aware of his position, and he spots out the first player. Damage will slightly be connected, but nothing really substantial as the bomb. It's just been tapped currently. They're baiting him out perfectly, and they work together to win that one out, as the defuse will easily come in, and the scoreline will be equalised.
Now, MOUSESPORTS should still have a buy into this round. However, they need to get some rounds together here. Again, remember, MOUSESPORTS had an 11-4 lead at the half, and they haven't converted a single round on their T side up until this point. So that I think just puts things into context as to how poor their T side has been so far. And we are going to see MOUSESPORTS try to react to that with the mid presence early on. For the most part though, MANS have been willing to give up this mid pressure, and it hasn't really costed them massively. You can see MOUSESPORTS have 3 players positioned towards mid. They will be able to gain a lot of ground there. However, the question now becomes, can they use it to successfully get towards a site? Well, we're going to see the aggression come in. Sunny only gets the 1 frag. Somewhat surprised there that Oscar couldn't get the trade, because he was holding from top mid. I think Sunny was expecting his teammates to be locking down window for him, but doesn't happen, and that means it is a 1-for-1 trade out at mid.
Yeah, and it looks like after being able to find that 1-for-1 trade, they will just back up and try and hit the B bomb site, which seems to be the correct decision. Currently only 1 player, that's Tensky over on short. He does at least hear the footsteps to give that info to his teammates quite early to allow for the rotate to come in, but as you can see already, MOUSESPORTS claiming control of the bomb site, and the bomb now should be planted once again, leaving this into the after plant, leaving it into the retake for MANS. Let's see if they're going to be able to get this one done. Yes, they do have one coming in on the flank. That's going to be Asilian. He will be taken down by Rops, though, as MOUSESPORTS claim themselves a man advantage now. And Tensky from short, hoping that something will be handed to him, hoping that someone from MOUSESPORTS will go for the peak. But I don't think it's going to be happening, as right now they may just go ahead and decide to save. You can see already beginning to back off. And actually their economy, it is pretty decent, so they could maybe try and take 1 or 2 more kills in the process. But with Tensky taking that dink, I think he's definitely just going to try and save this M4 into the following round.
Yeah, looks like the call has been made. So MOUSESPORTS will be able to reclaim their lead. The question is, can they now consistently put rounds together on their T side? Because that's not something we've seen up until this point. And remember, with MANS Not Hot winning so many rounds in a row, their economy certainly isn't an issue, and you can see that being proven fully by the fact that Asilian will flex that cash he has to buy up a second AWP for the CT side. He's going to go out towards B apartments, as is quite common for secondary AWPers to do on this map. But again, look at MOUSESPORTS. They are fairly heavily grouped over towards A at the early stages here. And we do see the CTs playing quite passively again, so this could work for MOUSESPORTS on the A executes.
Yeah, Esperanto has been able to get quite a lot of damage during to the first player in connector. He eventually finishes off Sunny, and it's looking really good right now for MANS Not Hot, as Nexa steps it up massively from CT spawn. He's going to be able to take himself a triple kill, and now Oscar's going to be the last man left standing. In a 1-on-5, he is a player who, of course, is very capable of winning these at points, but I don't think it's really going to be very likely. He gets one, but there's only going to be a small consolation as he will instantly be traded out. And now MOUSESPORTS finally picking up around on that T side, instantly getting reset, looking very similar to what we've seen from MANS in the previous half. And this is looking even more dominant than the CT side of MOUSESPORTS, I must say.
Ooh, and there, MOUSESPORTS will make the call to go for the buy. It wasn't necessary that they went for this buy here, but they get a pretty good buy together. At the same time, the utility is lacking, and by the looks of things, that means they want to go for a fast play. They don't feel confident in going for the slow push, but the flash comes in, and Asilian with the AWP gets a double kill early on. Lukia nearly gets caught towards mid, but he can afford to play things safe. In the meantime as well, Esperanto, here's the steps. This is a free kill every single time. Let's Chris J go to get the second kill instead. And Chris J will be able to get out of there with the bomb. So I guess that's a slight positive for MOUSESPORTS, but it's hard to really be optimistic when they're in a 2v5.
Yeah, very small positive right now. There's not really much looking good for the MOUSESPORTS side so far on this terrorist side. They just haven't been really having any success. MANS have had full control and they're just looking really good. Reminder, it was 11-4 at half-time. Nice went by Rops at least to take down Nexic. Chris J pushing forward. He takes down Pensky and Rops takes down Esperanto also rather. This could get dangerous. You see one up towards the A bomb site, but as he spots them making their way up towards short now, it looks like they will begin the rotate. We should see Rops getting into position, but Chris J with the bomb has to try and actually cross over to the site itself, and two ops are going to be posted up on this position, but he just jumps immediately across. Rops gets some damage done, but it's not going to be enough for the kill. And now Chris J left to try and clutch this one out in a 1-on-2. Both of these players being considerably lower than he is himself. So there is a decent chance still for him to try and win this one as he just holds patiently, just waiting to see if Asilian or any of the players push out of this door. As now repositioning himself, looking to try and get into a position where he can actually force the 1v1s. Trying to deny the trades, but he has to be cautious of all positions now as he gets the first. Does he know Asilian has already pushed out to the bomb site is the question. As the AWP not really the best weapon in this position, and he will be taken down. Chris J steps it up massively when it's needed for MOUSESPORTS and is able to clutch that one out.
Wow, MANS Not Hot will be pretty frustrated with that one. A 2 versus 5 for MOUSESPORTS, and yet they managed to find a couple of 1v1 fights at the start of things. And that just completely opens up the round. So MOUSESPORTS again get back into the lead. And maybe the blood was pumping there, the emotions flowing for MOUSESPORTS, because they are the ones who have taken this time out. If they just want to calm things down, I certainly don't blame them, because that was certainly a very, very intense situation. And the unpause will now be called. But remember, neither side really has much cash in the bank, so considering how late we are into this second half, this round really does mean so much at this point. The loser may be forced down to either a sort of weakened force buy or even an eco, depending on the situation. So here we go, a hugely important round, and MOUSESPORTS going to go, by the looks of things, for some mid-presence at the start.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be successful. They are relegated to actually 3 Galils, so that's not really an ideal situation. So far, MANS Not Hot on the CT side have been looking like the better individual players, I guess. Oscar having the op hasn't really had a chance to really get much done. Currently bottom of the scoreboard for Mouse. Not really something you want to see as a MOUSESPORTS fan. He's usually someone who will be up towards the top, getting some of that heavy lifting done. He's very aggressive. He's good at finding those opening kills for his teammates to work with. And just so far on the T side, he hasn't been able to do so. He's been relying more on the likes of Chris J and Rops to step it up. And right now, just focusing once again on this mid control. It hasn't really worked so well so far. Let's see what their idea is this time. They're able to get that full control. They're able to get a player up in the connector. And it gives them a lot of options now. They could try to go back towards B. They can make their way up short. Or Stico actually does try and go, but he gets taken down instantly. And Oscar not going to be able to successfully find that trade either, as he allows for the player to escape back around the blocks and back to the B bomb site. So now Sunny, left on this lurk, needs to be cautious of Palace as he spots it out. Gets the headshot onto Esperanto. That's an important frag to be found. There's now the A-bomb site. It's completely up for the taking, basically. The closest player is Nexa, who's currently in CT spawn, and he's not even looking to try and contest this one for the moment. So with the bomb coming up connector, we should see the plant coming in. And we should see a 4-on-4 after plant now for MOUSESPORTS.
Yeah, that's a huge kill for Sunny to claim. Back to a 4v4, but more importantly, you saw the massive rotate come in. So as the bomb goes down, MANS Not Hot have to get quite a few frags to get back into this one. They do have a fair few flashbangs, but no incendiaries to speak of, so they can't clear out the positions that way. And Sunny spots Asilian going through the murder hole, and he will indeed be murdered. Having said that, Nex is going to get the 1 kill back, but you can see Oscar's in just such a powerful position with the AWP, but he is shut down by Nukia. Unfortunately for him, he's traded on by Chris J in towards a ramp. And MOUSESPORTS now with a 14-12 lead have MANS Not Hot exactly where they want them, because this buy won't be perfect. There will at least be a couple of rifles, but MOUSESPORTS, I'm sure, will be feeling like they are in the driver's seat now.
Yeah, certainly not good for MANS Not Hot. They have to go for the force fight. They're able to get themselves out at least some weaponry to work with, and they just actually stack up towards the A-bomb site with 4 players. That could be the correct decision. As we see MOUSESPORTS right now, they are going to be actually favouring a lot of their presence onto this side of the map. That is for an Oscar. That is filthy. Takes down Asilian. I don't even think he was aware that the player was there. Just took a little bit of a lucky spam, took the chance, and it worked out perfectly. So MOUSESPORTS getting a 1-man advantage. Sunny is actually getting hunted down. Will only be able to actually rather Dicko to only find 1, and now Chris J to chime in with 2. This round should be now going in favour of MOUSESPORTS. Nuki left to try and clutch this out with a scout, and now that his position is known, bit of damage at least connected. No, he hits the second one there onto Chris J. So he's taking a couple of these players low. He pushes that onto the site. Almost gets another onto Dicko. That was getting a bit scary there, but in the end it will be MOUSESPORTS to get themselves map point. And while we have a moment, I'm just going to go ahead and tell everyone that there is a giveaway being done on this channel. It is for a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested. If you want to try and enter into that one, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and get yourself in with a chance to actually win that. Of course, it will be given away on Sunday after the grand finals of Farmskins. So that's when you have up till to actually get that subscriber in if you want to be able to do so. But coming into this one, of course, MANS Not Hot, they have to try and buy. They are currently down with map point and serious point being in favour of MOUSESPORTS, and the buy is not really looking very good. It's a Scout, an MP9, 2 CZs, and a Deagle.
Here we go. Remember, MANS Not Hot now have their tournament life on the line. They won their group. They beat Enjoy, Kingwin, and Windigo to get to this point. But MOUSESPORTS might just knock them out. They get the man advantage thanks to the trades early on. And now it looks like the bomb is going to make its way back. A little bit of a conservative approach here from MOUSESPORTS, but with good reason. They don't need to take any risks. And also, Oscar over towards B has got quite a lot of ground there. He did just take a shot from Nukia's scout, but Nexa is also pushing out through A here. I don't know if he's going to be able to get through for the flank in time, however. And Nukia also will be unlikely to do much with the scout. He's going to look back towards mid, see if he can find something, but he is caught. And Nexa is the only man left. He might find the flank in towards mid, but he needs a lot more than that. And Robs will indeed shut him down. 16-12 for MOUSESPORTS, a 2-0 scoreline. And we'll go back to the desk to break down this map.
There you have it, ladies and gents. MOUSESPORTS through to the semi-finals in Farmskins Championship after winning second map 16-12 on Mirage. I mean, it was closer than Overpass. Definitely, MANS Not Hot at one point, maybe even threatening to get this